Have you been through this? Buy beautiful plants, green, full of life, put in the aquarium, all excited, and in a few weeks they begin to yellow, drop leaves, and suddenly just disappear. The first reaction is to blame the plant or store, but most of the time, the problem is not there. What kills your plants are everyday habits that seem harmless, but are slowly destroying your whole aquarium. In today's video, I will show you what these errors are, and, more importantly, how to fix each of them in a simple way. If you want a green, healthy aquarium that lasts for years without having to be replanting all the time, watch until the end, because the last mistake is the most common one, and it's probably exactly what's killing your plants right now. And there is more. In the description, I left the list of products that I use in my aquarium and that have completely changed the result. Then save the link to check later. Tell me in the comments if you have already made any of these errors. Sign up and share this video with those who live complaining that aquarium plant does not last. Because it lasts, yes, when we do the right way. 1. Excess or lack of light. The silent enemy of your plant's light is one of the most important elements for aquatic plant health, but it is also among the most common causes of problems when used incorrectly. It is very common for beginners to think, the more light, the better, but this is far from the truth. Too much light favors the excessive growth of algae, which compete directly with plants for nutrients and can also stress leaf tissues, causing stains, burns, and early degradation. On the other hand, less lighting is also harmful. Without the right amount of light, photosynthesis is compromised. In this scenario, plants stop producing enough energy to grow, weaken, lose leaves, and may even die slowly. The secret is in the balance between duration and intensity. The ideal is to maintain 8 to 10 hours of lighting per day using a lamp suitable for planted aquariums, which offers the correct spectrum for photosynthesis, especially in the blue and red bands. Ordinary lights, even if they seem clear, often do not have the necessary spectrum. Signs that there is excess light include burst algae, translucent leaves, or burning. Already the lack of light is manifested with yellowed leaves, very slow growth, an exaggerated elongation of the stems in search of light. To avoid errors, install a timer. Thus, the lights always turn on and off at the same time, simulating the natural cycle of the day and avoiding sudden changes that affect the metabolism of plants. This simple adjustment can be the difference between an aquarium filled with algae and a balanced setting, with plants growing strong, healthy, and displaying vibrant colors. 2. Ignoring the substrate and fertilization. The root of the problem, like any terrestrial plant, aquatic plants need nutrients to grow, develop, and maintain healthy coloration. However, in the aquarium, the availability of these nutrients depends almost entirely on the substrate and fertilization you provide. When you set up an aquarium with only common gravel or sand without nutrients, the plants can even survive for a while, absorbing what they get from the water. But as the weeks pass, they weaken, lose leaves, and end up dying. The same happens when there is no adequate liquid supplementation, especially for plants that take nutrients directly from the water column, such as some fine-stemmed A-quality. Nutrient substrate provides essential minerals such as iron, potassium, and magnesium, gradually releasing them to the roots. Liquid fertilizers complement this supply for species that feed more by water, ensuring a complete balance. Ignoring this part is like trying to grow a plant on dry land without fertilizer. It may even stay alive for a short time, but will never reach its full potential. If you want vibrant, fast-growing plants with colorful leaves, invest in a good substrate from the beginning and maintain a fertilizing routine. The difference is visible in a few weeks. 3. Excessive cleaning when care becomes detrimental. Keeping your aquarium clean is essential, but overdoing it can be as harmful as not cleaning. A common mistake among beginners is to believe that the more you rub and remove dirt, the healthier the aquarium will be. In practice, this heavy cleaning can seriously compromise the health of plants and the biological balance of the system. Washing the leaves of plants often, or trying to remove each point of algae, aggressively damages the leaf cuticle, weakening the plant and making photosynthesis difficult. In some cases, this stress can even lead to total leaf loss. Another problem is to stir too much in the substrate. In addition to damaging the roots, this releases gases and accumulated nutrients that can unbalance water chemistry. The substrate also houses colonies of beneficial bacteria that help in the nitrogen cycle, and constantly removing or shaking them can directly affect the health of the aquarium. The correct cleaning should be punctual and gentle. Remove only dead or decaying leaves. Remove algae with a soft brush or with your hands, without rubbing excessively. Siphon lightly the surface of the substrate, without turning everything. Remember, a healthy aquarium is not a sterile environment, but a balanced ecosystem. A bit of algae or organic matter is part of the natural life of the tank, and that's what keeps everything running. 4. Lack of pruning. The error that silences growth. It may seem counterintuitive, but letting the plants grow freely without pruning is not a sign of good aquarium health. In fact, it can be one of the reasons for stagnation of growth and even death of some species. When there is no regular pruning, The taller and denser plants begin to block light for the smaller ones, creating shaded areas where photosynthesis does not occur efficiently. This leads to weakening, yellowing, and falling leaves on the plants at the bottom of the aquarium. In addition, overgrowth can impair water circulation, hampering the distribution of nutrients and CO. Long-stem plants, when not cut and replanted, end up being woody at the base and lose vigor, compromising the look of the aquarium and the health of the vegetation. Regular pruning is for stimulate new and denser sprouts, maintain a balanced and beautiful design, ensure that all plants receive enough light. The ideal is to observe the aquarium weekly and cut very high stems, replanting the healthy tops in the substrate. Thus you maintain active growth and prevent entire areas of the aquarium from being without light or nutrients. Think of pruning as a haircut for your aquarium. Done at the right time, it revitalizes the look and ensures that plants continue to grow strong and beautiful. 5. Ignore CO, the fuel of plant growth. One of the most underestimated factors in growing aquatic plants is CO, carbon dioxide. It is as important as light and nutrients because it is one of the fundamental elements in the process of photosynthesis. Without enough CO, even with good lighting and fertilization, plants may show slow growth, small leaves, and color loss. In densely planted aquariums, the demand for CO is even higher. If this need is not met, the plants compete with each other for the little gas available, and the most fragile end up losing the dispute. To solve, there are several approaches. CO pressurized system offers precise control and is ideal for aquariums with many demanding plants. Home systems fermentation or bicarbonate citric acid, cheaper but less stable. Liquid carbon supplementation, practical and simple, but with limited effect in heavily planted aquariums. In addition, it is essential to adjust lighting and fertilization to keep up with the increase of CO. More gas without adequate nutrients or light can generate imbalances, just as intense light without sufficient CO can favor algae. Another point is efficient diffusion. There is no point in injecting CO if it does not dissolve well in water. Ceramic diffusers, reactors, or even external filters can help in this process. Remember, CO is not a luxury. It is an essential fuel for the vigorous and healthy growth of aquarium plants. When you supply the right amount, you notice larger leaves, more vivid colors, and a much more stable and beautiful aquarium. Having really healthy aquarium plants is not a matter of luck, but of balance. It is about offering light in the right measure, without exaggerations or deficiencies. Ensure that they have enough nutrients through a good substrate and proper fertilization. Maintain a gentle maintenance, without excesses that damage roots and leaves. And perform regular pruning to stimulate growth and maintain harmony of the layout. When these 4 pillars are aligned, you create a stable ecosystem, where plants thrive, help control algae, improve water oxygenation, and provide natural shelter for fish. The result is a more beautiful, healthy, and easy to maintain aquarium. But if any of these points are ignored, it is only a matter of time until the plants begin to weaken, lose color, and even die, compromising the entire balance of the aquarium. Tell me, which of these mistakes have you ever made in your aquarium? Enjoy this video, because it helps the channel to grow, and share with those who are trying to have a green and healthy aquarium, but do not know why the plants do not go forward. Your aquarium can transform. Just apply what you learned here from today.